The simple secret to taking action is it's not even a secret. It's common sense. Just think about it. If you literally don't do the thing, then if you're not doing what you need to do to get whatever outcome you're looking for, then you're not going to get the outcome. So the secret here about everything is just think about how you're going to feel if you don't get what you want. Does that make you want to actually do something about it today? Now, if you already know that part and you're still not taking action, you're like, I know what I need to do, and I'm just putting it off for whatever reason so my future self can deal with it. If you're even thinking about it like that, and then you'll catch up and it's all going to just work out just fine, and you'll get by, just scrape by, and you'll get what you want by basically putting in the minimal effort to get in essentially the maximum output, because what you're looking for is basically that goal. And you're like, if the goal can be achieved basically by doing less is more, then that's great. What if it doesn't work out? And so that basically is the answer. How you feel if, let's say, you go all the way, even if it's last minute and you're just 5% short of getting whatever you're trying to get, right? Then you still didn't achieve. You didn't do it. You basically failed. So looking at the driving motivator really is the biggest answer. What motivates you? Is it the fact that, okay, I don't want to lose, so that drives you to, do that much better? Or if you're like, hey, I'm a winner, so my baseline is I'm already winning in the perspective of, let's say, other people, but your goalpost is, I don't want to make, let's say, 6 figures a year. I want to make 7 figures, and I want to make 7 figures each month, for example, right? So that type of mindset, that type of frame of, what you're looking at could be that motivator for how you can take action. And really, if you don't take action, then what happens? So if you look at, are you pain driven? Are you goal oriented? It's basically one or the other, right? It's not, the scarcity mindset. You could have an abundant mindset, but you can also fool yourself that, oh, everything is great, everything's rosy, everything is zen, everything's smooth, right? But that's the thing. If everything is smooth, then there's not really a motivator to take that next step. A good example, a lot of people, they work their, let's say, W-2 kind of 9 to 5 jobs. They get, you know, complacent is basically the word. And that's the feedback that I hear from a lot of people that I talk with. They're basically like, well, I want X, but if I need to do something about it, is it really worth it? Is it not? It basically becomes like they're not going to do it, but they'll talk about it. So it's a waste of time for my ears to hear about what they want if they're not going to take action. So, like, why are you even talking about it? This is like not a value add to either party. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you really think about it, it's like, do you want to take action? Go do it. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. And what are the ramifications? Basically, if you don't do it, let's say 2 days from now, what changes in your life? Maybe a whole lot of nothing. 2 months from now, still, maybe it's okay. 2 years from now, what could have been that difference if you took action now, today, whatever, in that next increment? As simple as it is, like, let's say I'm recording this video. If I want to grow a YouTube channel, if I literally don't take action like I am right now doing the thing, I could be thinking, oh, I'm going to record. I'm going to, I have a positive mindset. I'm going to whip out this camera. I'm going to record. I'm going to look straight into the lens and be like, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I could think about that whole thing. But in the end, what is actually happening? What do you have to show for it? That's the best way, I would say, from a financial life perspective. Like, all of what we discussed so far is definitely going to help you, because it's something similar to someone I follow who I really respect, known as Alex Hormozy. And if you've heard of him, he basically is like, hey, it's called ignorance debt. If you just literally don't know what you need to know, then how are you going to get to that next step? A good example, if you're afraid of investing, but you know that you quote unquote have to keep up with inflation and more than that, and outsized gains and all the things, right? But if you're afraid to literally take that first step because you don't want to lose any penny or dollar you put in the market, then that's okay. But understand both ways. What is the risk reward ratio? How are people still being okay by investing? Clearly they're not losing all their money. Sure, during the financial crisis, let's say 2008, what happened? Folks' 401ks and their portfolios fell 30% in a flash crash. And yeah, that sucks. And if that's their retirement age, they're like, I had to pull everything out because what if I lose even more? So totally get that. But what is the point here? The point is, all those fear based scenarios, they could happen whether you have the knowledge or not, whether you're prepared or not. It's like the weather, it's like traffic. Can you control things? No, you can't. I can't either. Like, and if we can't, then what can we focus on? We can focus on the thing that literally we have, the input to get a certain output. And yeah, things may derail, but you have set yourself up to have the highest probability to win, because just like studying for a test, the more you study doesn't mean you're gonna get closer to 100 or not, but the probability of you actually getting 100% or as close as you can, all else equal, like perfect practice and putting in that preparation, you're taking action to then lead to the next action, to the next action. Then you take that action and you get 100%, and maybe there's extra credit, you get 105%, right? You're setting yourself up basically for that outcome that you want, and you can only do what best you can do. So, what I'm trying to say here is simple secret of taking action. Yeah, you can take action. Don't fool yourself that just taking those action, those steps, like, hey, if I do steps 1 through 10, then I'm going to get that outcome. Don't fool yourself that it's also going to just happen, because things can go along the way that may, deter you, like just the ebbs and the flows in the market. Your life could also, God forbid, I have a health problem, let's say, that comes up, or you do too. Those things come in the way. And those unexpected kind of speed bumps or valleys of, issues or whatever, right? If you don't take action today, and even if you take action, you could have these issues. So it's almost like thinking about what are those compounding kind of problems that could come up, where if you don't take action now, you're not going to get to your goal. And even if you take action, you could still have issues. So it's almost double, triple enforcing that. If you have like a risk averse kind of mindset, if you're like, yo, I don't want to screw up my life, then people may, let's say, follow the system of getting a 9 to 5 to at least have something coming in, to save, to invest. Maybe you're not going to be filthy rich, but okay, there's a method, there is a way. That is how some people function. Some other folks may be like, hey, stability doesn't matter. I got time on my hands. I'm still young. I can, hustle, sales. Let's make it happen. Let's have outsized returns for the input that I'm putting in, whether that's, trading wise or otherwise, or a great real estate deal. But the point is, both things are the same. It's coming back to the point of what motivates you, and only you can figure that out for yourself by going through the rounds, going through the iterations, failing, succeeding. How do you feel when you fail? Some people, they're miserable, but they also are okay being miserable. They are choosing daily to stay there. It's also because they've never also seen maybe wins in their life. And wins can only happen by taking action. So if you don't have something to reinforce why you would actually try, because you made believe it's impossible. Folks growing up, they're like, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire. And folks around them are like, you, a millionaire? Are you kidding me? Those people exist. And those people may reinforce, like, oh, all these people around me say it's not possible, so maybe it's not. But then I challenge that person to go put yourself, go take a train, take a bus, do what you need to, go to a 5-star hotel. I'm not telling you to spend the night there. Go sit in the lobby, see how it is, see how the vibe's like, see how, just if you're in a certain position, then it's how the other side lives. But what you could also look at yourself and say is like, hey, this is my future state. Like, this is me. So what are the inputs? What are other folks doing in that strata or otherwise to get the reward or the outcome that you're also looking for? So the secret is what? This whole video is basically saying it's not just about starting. It's about, if you don't start, things that happen can probably happen and worse. And then even if you try to do the same action later because, hey, today's a great day, I feel amazing, I'm going to do it, it's a little too late. And maybe it's not late, maybe it's a perfect time. But chances are time has progressed. It's basically late. So the urgency of taking action now is, if you don't do it, see what happens and how do you feel? And if you don't give a flying F, then this whole video, you get to the end and just look at yourself, then like, what is the next step? What is your why? That really comes back to it. If you don't have a why and you got to the end of this video, then really question yourself. But when you have a why, you're going to be willing to take action. When the stronger why is like present, then the stronger action is what you will be taking. So thanks for coming to the end. See you in the next one. Peace.